yeah, this is, let me flick this on. Yeah, so this is the dial. I've already removed all of the lume from it. And what you see in there, even though it looks like lume, it's not, it's paint. So it likes white paint. Some of it comes off when you remove the old lume, but yeah, it's not an issue, man. Like, as long as you kind of like have your edges, so to speak, so you know where you're gonna lume, it's not a problem. So I'm gonna do the hands and I'm gonna do the dial. That's what I need to do. Just let me put that aside. You probably, if you've not seen this, this is really good. So two kinds of kits that I use like a super luminova one, and then I use just a standard Bourgeon kit. And the standard Bourgeon kit that I use is just like a zero color one, just a white one. And the reason why I want a white one is it's like a neutral blank color. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna add to it because I need to age it. I can't just put like a white lume on this dial. It would look disgusting, man. It would not be cool, not fresh. No, would not. It would be horrendous. My ass would get kicked for doing it. So I can imagine that it would be really, really difficult. So yeah, I'm assuming everybody can hear me okay, because no one's complained yet. So I'm assuming everybody can hear the mic and everything, and I can see levels moving up. So if the volume's okay, just let me know. Because I'm watching the chat actually on my phone, so I can see you guys, which is cool. So in these lume kits, like if people are not that familiar with it, you get the luminous, which is, like I say, just like a blank compound. And then you get like a varnish, and you also get like a thinner. The thinner is basically if you've made it a little bit too thick, you can thin it out. I'll be honest, I never used the thinner, man. I never used the thinner. Probably because I'm used to it now, but I'm not saying there's anything wrong with using a thinner. So that's that. So these are what I need for here. So I can put that aside. And then of course, what I always advise, it doesn't matter what it is. This is my strange little purple, purple box. I think it's just like some, I don't know what it is. I can't even remember what this was for, but I use it just for hands. So it's perfect. Get yourself a little box like this for your hands. I just have some old Rodico in it. And then all that I'm doing is I'm just laying my hands in here. And then when I've lumed them, I can just put my cap on like this, and there's no dust getting involved. It's all out of the way. It's super nice. It's protected, and it's just easy to deal with. But first and foremost, I need to mix up the lume, and in regards to the way that I do it, and also in regards to the tools that I'm using. So let's actually first get on with that. Another thing as well I wanted to say is, when you're luming a dial and when you're luming a set of hands, especially if you're luming a dial, you're limited in regards to the amount of time that you've got to work on. So preparation is absolute key, because that lume that you've got, it's gonna thicken up basically, and yeah, the more it thickens up, the more difficult it's gonna be basically to. It's gonna be more difficult to apply it. So you want to kind of do it as soon as you can. So as soon as you've got your compound good to go, start basically just going with it, guys. 100%. What else? Okay, so only hands that I need obviously are the hour and the minute hand, because they're the only ones that are gonna need the lume. So the rest I can just stick aside. And then obviously what I will do is I will just basically just stick this into my lume box. Obviously turning the hands upside down. Pretty sure that some of you guys have already done this before, but if you haven't, you can see exactly how I do it. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these upside down. I'm going to stick them to the Rodico, try and get them as flat as possible. It doesn't have to be super straight, but as good as you can. See, that's perfect for me. That's really fine. I'm fine with that. And then the same goes as well for the minute hand. Now, luckily for me with these hands, the lume is pretty much only at the other end, so it's not a big deal. So sometimes you get hands where they go all the way up to the front, so then you're going to need to be pretty careful in regards to how you stick in your hands on onto the Rodico, because obviously you're going to need to not allow the area where the lume's going to go to touch the Rodico, because that's going to be a complete pain in the ass for you. So yeah, so basically I just stick it on like so, and yeah, that's fine. I'm more than happy with that. That's fine. It's good enough for me. And then I can stick that to one side as well. So I got my dial, I got everything on the other side. What's going on? Who else we got in here? Coming through loud and clear. Okay, good, considering that I'm waffling on. Hi Francis, how's it going, man? Long time. Sometimes you use a grain of instant coffee to age the lume. The only thing that I've got about that is that it's, someone said it to me once, that with it being like biological and like it's a food, you know, and it's like, can it go bad? So I have something else that I've got which really does it nice. So maybe it'll be an icebreaker, not an icebreaker, like maybe people will be like, oh damn, that's not a bad idea, you know. I mean, everybody obviously use what you want, but for me, I use something a little bit different. All right, let's get this lume mixed up, man. Let's get this lume mixed up. Okay, that looks like it's, is that pretty clear? Let me just refresh this. That's not good. It doesn't like it because it's wide. I'll try it on that. There you go. Okie dokie. So first of all, I'm gonna put in my lume. Oh, Bruce, hi, how's it going, man? Long time no see, bro. So usually I do really sparingly with this, but I'm gonna be a little bit more generous with the amount of lume that I'm putting in, because obviously I've got a dialing question as well. So even that is way too much, to be honest, for what I'm gonna need. But it's a little bit bright on this screen, guys, so I apologize. I might actually flick you back to this just for now. And then I'm gonna put in some of the varnish. And my tip with this is really just put in a little tiny amount and then work it in. So I just put in like literally one blob, which I know is probably not gonna be enough. I'll put in one blob, and then I'm gonna mix it up with the varnish, get like a thicker consistency, and then I'm gonna build it up, because I don't want it absolutely super runny, but at the same time I also don't want it super super thick. See, like this is too thick, which is fine, it's no problem. I just want to make sure that I get all of this lume mixed into this varnish, and it can build up like it is now, you know, like a big blob. That's no problem, because I'm going to add more anyway in a minute. I just want to get the dust, so to speak, like the dusty lume compound just all into the wet. So yeah, it's far too thick, as you can see, and then I can add a bit more. That's probably a bit too much. The thing with this as well is, like, as long as you don't mind breaking your bank, if it does go a little bit too thick on you and everything, you can also then just add like a little bit more of the luminous compound as well. Like I said, I don't like using the thinner. I really don't. I'd much rather just like get it right first time. But it's also something that you get used to, you know, the more that you do it, you know. So the more you do it, the more used to you get with it. So all I'm doing is I'm adding this in, and then what you want to do as well is you want to just check it. Like, check it on the end of the oiler and see exactly how it is. Like if it's thick, if it's runny, if it's running off. And the consistency of this is not too bad at all, actually. But what I'm going to do is I just want to add just a little bit more of the powder, actually. Yeah, I saw it, Matthew. Yeah, it is. It's a little bit too. It reflects off of the light. That's why I had to change the camera. It'll be all right once I've mixed this up. So I've just added like just a little bit more lume, and then I'm going to mix that in. And also what I do as well is you can see that I've got it like I tilt my pot, because I actually want it coming into onto the side. I don't want it in the middle. I actually like to work with it just coming up to the edge. Kind of like as if you're beating an egg. Yeah, beating an egg. Who'd have thought? And my consistency of this actually is really good. Let's see if I can get a shot of this. I keep pressing the wrong button. This is really bright, and I want to see if I can actually turn this down. It's purely because it's reflecting off of this white background. So if I turn that down a bit, that's better. So it's not jumping off, which is good. So the consistency is not bad, actually. You don't want it too runny, but you don't want it too thick. So that's the kind of the key. Yeah, whip it good. Whoosh. So yeah, and I actually think I have got more than enough here as well. So the next thing what I want to do in regards to this, because this is just a pure white lume, and obviously there's no way that we can stick that on, because otherwise it would just be absolutely ridiculous. So what I use is, I use these enamel colors, and I literally use this orange one. I've used it for a lot. I want to give it a shake, and I'm going to have to mix it up as well. So I just want to open this up. Just going to use one of my fat screwdrivers just to nip up the end. And then this is one of these things where it was trial and error. But what I can tell this with you guys is the absolute smallest amount will go an absolute million miles on this, like a million miles. And I am going to have to change my finger cuts as well, because I've got varnish on these and I can feel that it's already a little bit sticky. So here is what I use, and what I want to use is just like, guys, I cannot stress this enough, like the tiniest amount. But just actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to just mix this up first. And this is also what I'm going to use as well for my hands, because the hands have got orange tips on these hands. Most of the hands, when I do hands, I will airbrush them, but because this is such the smallest amount of paint, you can get away with just using a really sharp piece of pegwood, and you can use that, and then that's more than enough, because it's literally just the most tiniest amount that you're going to put on. So I'm going to get rid of these finger cuts, guys, because they're absolutely driving me insane, because I got a little bit of varnish on them. So I'll just put some new ones on, because the last thing I want to do is have everything pull away, which would suck. I actually don't need them on both hands. Do I? No, I'm fine. Okay, so smallest amount. That's the amount that I'm talking about. Like, guys, really, because what you'll see is now is this amount does so much. So I work it all the way in to get this orange, but it obviously won't turn orange. It'll turn into more like a light kind of like, we're obviously wanting that kind of like used, kind of like old vintagey kind of lume look. The other thing as well with lume, it dries lighter, it'll look darker when it's wet than it will when it's dry. So I want to mix it up really good. And then the other thing is, we're still not done yet in regards to this, because this is not good enough. So I give it a good mix. That's enough of the paint. That's literally all the paint. I mean, that paint will last more than a lifetime, because obviously it's just such a microscopic amount that's being used. And then the other thing that I do is, I'll show you, this is the other secret tool that I use. So you can buy these like pigments from like model shops. This particular one, dark yellow. This one, man, this one is the lick, seriously. It's just like a powder, and all I'm gonna do is, with a wet oiler with some of the lume on it, because I want to pick it up. Let me just remove this orange paint out of the way, because it's freaking me out actually that I've got this wet stuff around. And I want to go into this because it is like a powder inside, as you can see, and I just want to get a little bit, and I want to just tap it into my pot. Always start off small. Don't go crazy with this stuff, because you can add more later on if you need to. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. You can add more if you want to later on. But this stuff really is good. It also puts a bit of a texture to it, and you can see already that it like darkens it up real nice, you know, which is what you want. So already we're getting this nice kind of color. And like I said, I've spent a decent amount of time trial and error, so to speak, sorry, of what works better than others of lume. And for me, this is the one that I've got most satisfied with in regards to how it looks, in regards to looking to like an older similar kind of used lume, but obviously on a modern lume and not turned to dust and just looking basically just crappy on your watch. I mean, if you can leave the watch alone and not have to relume it, then yeah, that's great. But if you want it to look good and it's like the lume's falling apart or whatever, then yeah. The other thing I would say as well is like, if your dial's not good, make sure that you do the hands and the dial at the same time, because it's going to be quite difficult for you to get a matching lume on your hands and dial if you do them separately. So that's another thing that you should really try and do it at the same time. So I did a little bit more in, and then what I do with that is I don't mix it all the way in, because I want to get some little bits of that like black area, sorry, that dark brown spots area, so it kind of like looks like some weathering. And that's pretty much it. That is my mix, which just looks absolutely obviously disgusting, and it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look nice at all. So I'm just going to put that orange paint over there, which is great. All right, so first thing what I do is I always do the hands first. And the reason I do the hands first is because I want to flip them over while the lume is pretty much dried up, so that I can paint them once I've finished the dial, and then the whole job is basically done and finished, and I don't have to mess around with it anymore. So I always make sure that I do the what you call it, the dial first. But just before we do this, I just want to get rid of this orange paint, because the lid is still open and it's freaking me out. And I always advise you guys to put that kind of stuff away as well. Like put lids on and stuff. It's advisable. And also, when you are messing around with paint, check your finger cuts and everything afterwards, because I had orange paint on this finger cut, and can you imagine if I'd have touched that dial? Oh my God, it would have been an absolute nightmare. So I've actually taken those finger cuts off completely. Better to be safe than sorry. And then I can just pop on new fresh finger cuts, good to go. Ready to do it. So, first things first, I want to zoom in on this. Let's get you guys so that you can see what I'm doing. And I just want to, excuse me, let me get you in focus. This is the problem you have to put up with while it's live. I've tried doing this with an autofocus before, and it just moves around all the time, and you guys complained about it last time, so I'm not doing that again. All right, so all I do is I just get a generous amount of the lume on this, because it's on the back side, and I'm just going to go across it like so. Just like so. And that's pretty much done. Sometimes it takes more than one go. But it's on the back side, so it doesn't matter. And you're trying to just get it to copulate in the middle. The other thing as well, what you can do is, if you find that you've used a little bit too much lume on this, rather than mess around with it too much like what I'm doing now, you know, trying to remove some, you're not going to remove it. You're going to mess it up. The best thing to do is leave it, and once it's all dried, you can literally just sand the back of it lightly, and that's it. So the hands are done. That was really that quick. I wish the dial was as quick. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for coming. See you later. Yeah. No, I'm joking. All right, so the dial. Now the dial is a completely different animal. The dial is a completely different animal. So what I'm going to do is, I always start at 12 o'clock. And I'm just zooming in. I'm going to get you guys in focus in a minute. Just give me a sec. There we go. So as you can see, when the old lume was removed, it removes off some of the white paint as well. But don't worry about it, man. You're covering it up anyway, so it doesn't matter. You're covering it up with lume. Now here's the lume here's the oiler that I was using, but look at the size of this oiler. It's massive. You cannot use this oiler. It's You cannot. For hands, yeah, no problem, man. By all means, use it for hands each and every time. What I do is I just go to one of my old oilers, I clean it off, and I will use the smallest oiler that I've got. I want the smallest oiler, the finest one, with the finest tip. So for reference, there you go. This is the kind of size that you're talking about. And you might be going like, oh yeah, but that's so small, man, that's small. And it is, you're absolutely right, it is. But the reason being is that it's all about control when it comes to doing a dial. You have one shot at doing the dial. And I'm doing this live, yeah. And the guy who owns this watch is probably thinking, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. But luckily I've done it a lot of times, so I'm not bothered. I'm pretty confident it'll be okay. The other thing as well is when you're doing the dial, go around it. So I start at 12 and then I go all the way around it until I get about to 12. Then you're not finished. Don't put on too much to start with. You want to build up. I'll do like maybe 2 or sometimes 3 passes on the dial to make it right. So first of all, I will get some lume, and I always use 2 in my hands. So you guys, let me just change this camera real quick so you see how I do it. I hold my oiler like this, but then with my finger, I'll kind of use my finger like this as a support. And it's just so I'm kind of like supporting my hand on it because it's a delicate area, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. I always start in the middle as well. And I just basically want to add that lume on in the middle like that. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of pushing it around. That's all I'm doing. I'm pushing it around. I'm working it up to those edges. And you can see because I've not done it too thin and runny, I can actually build this up real nice. You see what I mean? Look at that. Go back in, get some more. Get this back area up. You see how that paint's getting covered up? And also I'm taking it right up to the top of the batten as well. Same again. I want to take it up to that top wall. Like so. And this is why it's really important to use the finest of oilers. Because you got more control. Because you don't want to get this on your dial. Now, not that it's happened to me, but in the worst case scenario, like if you did get it on the dial, the best advice or the best logical thing I would think is wait until it dries. And then once it's dried, you could like flake it off as if it's old lume, but of course it's running risk because it's on the dial. And yeah, you don't want it to be on the dial. So the other advice I would say is if you are going to attempt doing this, by all means do, but maybe not do it on a watch that's worth around 7,000 euros. Maybe that's not a good idea. So as you can see there, so I've loomed that up now. It's obviously really wet. The other thing is, by the time I get back to this 12, this will be dry enough that I can put another layer on it. And already I'm looking at this and I'm thinking this is going to be a 2-layer job, a 2-pass job, not a 3-pass job, which is nice because that's obviously less work. So same again, steady hand. I always start roughly in the middle or at the back like I've done here. And again, man, just like apply this lume. Take your time. Don't rush this. It's not a job that you want to rush because, yeah, you're getting one shot at this. You do not want to get it on the dial. This is not the hardest dial, I would say, to lume. And the reason I'm saying that is because, as you can see, it's got a slightly raised kind of area. Do you know what I mean? You can see how it sits. It's almost like it's a little step, you know, just above the dial, you know. The other thing as well, what you find is when your consistency of lume is a little bit thicker, you can kind of move it over the dial, over the area where you're going to lume it, and it'll pull itself back, almost like it's, you know, kind of like it's jelly. You see how it's like that? Also, you can move it like this, and it'll just take its form again. It'll just, gravity will basically just pull it into where it's supposed to be, which is perfect. If I am boring you guys, please let me know. So again, I'm in the middle. With these side ones as well, I can be a little bit more generous as well with the amount that I'm putting on because it's a bigger area and I'm just pulling it left and right, just trying to get my sides. And the trick is, like I said, man, just don't rush this shit. Like, there's no rush. Well, actually, I'm contradicting myself. There's no rush but don't think that you've got like all day, because your lume's going to dry up. And the problem you have with that is, if your lume is going to dry up, it's absolutely impossible that you're going to get bang on the exact shade and shade that you had on the first batch that you mixed, because obviously every single time it's going to be a little bit different. You know, it's not depending on how much orange paint you put in, or depending on how much of the pigment that you put in. It's obviously it's going to be a little bit different. You know, not much, but maybe enough that somebody notices that shit, and that's not cool. You know, so yeah, it's not really good. So yeah, man. Other thing as well I wanted to say, man. So I released that video, and I'll be honest, thank you guys, man. I don't say this shit often, but I was really surprised, like, at the crazy amount of comments that I received. And I remember when I was making the video, and I was thinking, oh man, maybe I said too much shit, you know. And I was really surprised. Like, so thank you guys so much in regards to all the love that I received and shit, because there was quite a few times where I was thinking that this channel was just going to die off, you know, which would have been a shame, because I did put a hell of a lot of work into this channel, especially in the early days, you know, trying to grow it. And then I thought, yeah, it would be a complete shame. But when you're feeling shitty, it's kind of difficult to get that motivation. But also thank you as well to the people that reached out to me personally, and there were quite a few people that did, and that also means a lot. And then I think the other thing as well, which I was really surprised, is that I was reading through all the comments. It's hard to reply to every single one because there were so many, but man, I was actually really surprised as well to hear of how many other people out there that are having a lot of problems, man. And that, yeah, that's quite sad to hear, you know. And a big part of me also thinks it's a lot of the state of the world that we're living in, man, you know. Like, I think it's also causing a lot of problems for people, you know, with the way things are at the moment, causing extra stress and shit like that. It's not cool. So yeah, I just saying I do absolutely appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I am going to try my best to be consistent with the videos. I'm thinking at least if I can get out like one video a month, and maybe a live stream of something small, you know, like doing something like this where we can just catch up, you know. I think that would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's my plan moving forward, which would be pretty cool. So I'm moving around this dial pretty quick, man, which is pretty cool. So curious how it's going to look at the end. And given the texture of the lume and the thickness of it, I really 100% think this is going to be a 2-pass job, and not a 3-pass job, which is great, because yeah, the thicker it gets, it's basically just drying all the time. So you want to take your time, but you want to be as quick as you can, if that makes any kind of logical sense, what I just said. Like, don't dawdle that shit, you know? That's all I'm trying to say. Don't dawdle it. Yeah, it's looking good. What else is going on? All we can do is support each other, but always put yourself first. You are your priority. Yeah, you're right. You are right. Ooh, see, look, that's too much lume. That's far too much lume. Yeah, you are right. And sometimes it's difficult, you know. I think we spoke about, well, I mentioned it as well before. I think also I think as men, it's not that I think we should have special treatment, but at the same time, I think a lot of other people, they do get kind of more support. I think with guys, we're just expected to suck that shit up, and then, yeah, shit can be a bit difficult, and sometimes you don't even realize that things are not going that good until maybe it's a little bit too late, and then you're like, oh shit's really not going good, you know? So yeah, that's not cool. So yeah. But I'm getting there, definitely not 100%, but some days better than other days, which is most important. So yeah, and I really hope that you guys are doing well as well. So just working around this dial, and now I'm struggling a little bit because I used a little bit too much lume on this. See, even me, man, I will get ahead of myself sometimes. You have to be careful because you don't want to mess this up. If you find that you're fighting it like this, as you see I am, I'm kind of fighting it a little bit, just wipe off your oiler and then go back to it, and then you'll find you have more control again. So I just cleaned it, and then I am in a position where I can push it into the sides, and it's not sticking as much as it was, which is really cool. And don't be scared of like really stabbing into it, because gravity will find its way and it will just form into a nice shape, which is pretty cool. No, I'm not going to stress over a timetable, but I do think there has to be some kind of consistency, and I also think that that would be good as well, like for me, you know, like that I have to show up, you know. And I don't mean it in regards to like, oh God, I got to show up, I got to do a video, you know, blah, 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 blah. No, I don't mean it like that. But I think having that and then remembering how it was and be like, oh yeah, you know, things were good, you know, like I need to do this again because the results were good, people like it, I enjoy it, I enjoy showing what I'm doing, we have a laugh, you know, these are the important things. So yeah, I do think it's important to have maybe some kind of agenda with it. So this is 11 o'clock. And it's looking good so far. Put a little bit more on. Da, 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 da. There you go. That's pretty cool. It is a fine balance. Let's zoom out and have a look. That looks pretty good for a first pass. Yeah, let me focus in on that for you guys. Yeah, that's pretty good for a first pass. So what I'll do now is I'll basically just go back down, and then you can see here that half of it is kind of like dried. It's kind of drying up. And I want to get that real like thick kind of lume, you know. I want that thick lume. Because the other thing as well with the lume compound, it shrinks as it dries. It will shrink. So don't be scared thinking like, oh yeah, there's massive spillage or whatever, you know, it's huge. No, it will shrink, you know. So this is dry enough now to like layer on top. So I just want to kind of fill in these corners a little bit. And again, with gravity, it'll sort itself out. And just play around with it. But I am having to be a bit quicker on it now because I can already tell that this is starting to, thicken up. Which on one side is cool because I like it to be thicker. I don't like it when it's too, watery. Because I can manipulate this so much easier. If this was a lot more runny, I wouldn't be able to manipulate it the way that I can right about now. There's no way. And then the other thing as well to remember, probably one of the last things to remember as well about this is we're looking at this under such a high detailed magnification, you know, where this thing looks massive, you know what I mean? And then we have to also put this into perspective of like, this is so like tiny. Oh shit, yeah, somebody just said don't forget the 1 marker. Oh my God, yeah, you're right. I didn't even notice that. Oh shit. Can you imagine? Let's get the 1 marker done quickly. Who said that? Tom. Damn. I didn't spot it. I really didn't. I'm going to hold you guys responsible because it's live streamed. Can you imagine if I did all of this and I wasn't paying attention to the comments, and then afterwards it was a case of like, yeah, it's all done and dusted, and I've basically not loomed the #1 marker, and then I'm trying to kind of like tell the guy like, yeah, that's how the old Enicars came. The #1 was never loomed. You know, you've got a really true traditional looking one now. You know, that would be funny. Let's just double check this. Yeah, they've all got Lume now. Okay, that's really, really good to see. They've all got Lume. Okay, that's good. Whew, my days. So yeah, again, lucky for me, it's only a 2-pass. It's not going to be a 3-pass. Can't believe I missed the 1. How did I miss the 1? I went from 12 to 1, but I didn't go from 12 to 1. I must have gone from 12 to 2. I'm actually baffled how I did that. That's strange. That is strange. My Lume. So yeah, I'm going a bit heavy now on this because it'll sink down. That's a nice looking Lume plot. Do my 3 o'clock. But I do like working with this stuff. I mean, I ain't saying that I want to sit in a bath with it or anything like that weird, but it is nice to work with. Especially, like I said, the way you can manipulate it. But I would also say if any of you guys have got a really unsteady hand, probably not the best thing to do then. So I wouldn't bother. I was too busy explaining the techniques. See, like here, you see how it's thinned out already, and you can see at this bottom you got the white paint showing through where it's pulled itself back because it's too, even though before it looked quite thick. And that's why you have to do like a second or a third coat of this stuff. But it's fine because you've obviously made like, as long as you've made enough to start with, then you're fine. And like this is why, again, like I said, is you want to make sure that you get your hands out of the way. Because with the hands, you only need to do that once. You don't need to do like a second coat on the hands or anything. The hands are they're really easy. Like just boom, done, you know, no messing around. And then of course they're virtually dry as well by the time that you come back to them. So was losing control, so remove it from your oiler, and then just with what you've got, push it into place. I want to push it up to that button. Again, it'll shrink a bit, and again we're also under a massive amount of magnification, so it's all good. I'm amazed how steady your hand is. Under that magnification, I would expect the applicator to be shaking all over the place. Yeah, but I think what helps is, because, okay, if this was one hand, I'm not going to do it, but if I had one hand just doing it, but I use my thumb, and I put my thumb on top of my other thumb. So it kind of just adds that support. It really, really makes a difference. Like, seriously makes a huge difference doing that. Like, and as long as your dial is in place, like you've placed it on something, you don't need to touch the dial anyway. So yeah, I cannot stress that enough. Use your thumb to support your other hand. And it's starting to thicken up now, so I am really actually happy that this is going to just be a 2 job instead of a 3. But just working it in, again, manipulating it. And then that'll settle. I am still here. I've just gone a bit quiet while I'm just concentrating on this last bit. Does it matter about painting over old Lume? I removed the old Lume. What you saw there was white paint. The old Lume had already been removed prior. And yes, you should 100% remove the old Lume. Because you need this Lume to be sticking to something like solid, so to speak. And if you do it on the old Lume, unfortunately, is obviously going to be flaky, or it's going to come about. So yeah, I know it looked like Lume, but what you saw was just white paint. A lot of dials where you Lume, they will actually have white paint, and I would just assume that when they manufactured them, they would have it there to show where the Lume plots were going to go for the person that would then add the Lume afterwards. I assume, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just a logical assumption. So just nipping it in. This one had quite a bit to start with, so it's fine. Didn't need as much this time. What are we on? 9 o'clock. Okay. That one looks actually not too bad, but I'll nip up those corners. So just that corner there. Very, very brave. You need to, well, I don't know about brave. I mean, it's a job that needs to be done, that's required, and somebody's got to do it if somebody wants it done, you know, and it looks a million times better than it did before. So, yeah, it has to be done. But yeah, magnification helps because obviously, what you call it, yeah, I would not even want to like doing this with like a loop, you know what I mean? Just like an eyeglass, like hell no. That one's not too bad. That one is a lot lower, so we'll add on this. And then I'll clean off, and then I can push that in. Get it down in those corners. Or maybe I'm just taking it for granted because, I mean, when you're saying about steady hand now, I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, but I'm used to this though, I suppose. That's obviously the difference. I mean, I've done this so many times now, which helps, obviously. I just want another little bit of Lume in that corner. Just there, please. There it is. Nice. My 12 is fine. I need to do my 1 o'clock. I'm happy with the 10 o'clock already. I think it looks more than fine as it is. So I'm going to just do the 1 o'clock and then it's done. And then I can go back to the hands, flip those over because I have to paint them as well. And the timing actually is really perfect as well, because the lume is just starting to thicken up past the point that I like. Which is cool. Or not cool, should I say. Just thicken this up a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good. So quick inspection of these bubbles, and I'm like, yeah, yep, yep. Maybe a little bit on these corners. But again, it's so small. There you go. Nice. Yep, that's good. That's good. And then just a little. Just a little bit of dust. Oh, thank you so much, Eric. I haven't heard from you for quite some time, but obviously it's been me that's not been out of action. Hey, Mark, good to see you as well. 48 minutes late, Alan. Oh, man, you missed all the goodness, man. Let me zoom out on that. Oh, where are we at? There you go. So it's wet, so it will obviously dry, but I'm happy with that. And I think you understand what I'm trying to come with, like the colors of it and everything. It has that old kind of look to it, which is the look you want, but it's all intact, which is really important. And the last thing I need to do is obviously the hands. So let's put this aside for a minute, cover it up as well. Make sure you cover your stuff up because obviously it's wet. And then I can go back to the hands. Now the hands, obviously, as you can see, they've dried up already, really nice. But what I want to do is I need to move them. So the way that I usually do it is I just kind of roll them like so, because I need to paint them. Because the Sherpa hands, they had a orange tip. So I have no choice, but I have to paint them. Now, usually when I paint hands, I will airbrush them. But because it's such a tiny amount that needs to be done, it's just, you can get away with just drizzling a piece of pegwood on the end of the hand, because you are literally just doing that little tiny tip, these two little tips. That is literally the only thing that you're doing. The loom looks nice though, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with how that's come out. It looks really neat. As you can see, it's covered up the whole area, which is really cool. Tailspin, still riding your e-bike, Matt? Yeah, kinda. How do I say it? Like, yeah, I am, but if the weather's crap, I'm not. But I'll be honest, I didn't use it as much as I should have used it. So yeah, which is really bad on my behalf. But when the weather gets better, I have said to myself that I need to start using it again. So I also polished up these hands as well. When I say polished them, like lightly, I mean, they were not in the best of shape, but I sanded them a bit and then I gave them a polishing up, and they've actually come up quite nice, actually. I'm quite happy with these hands. I think overall the watch will look really nice because the condition of it's really, really good. And then, yeah, last but not least, we just have to paint these hands. So let me just get my shit organized a little bit. I just want to put these Lume away. So I'll just pop these two away. And then I can, do I need this? No, I don't need this. This I will clean. This I have already cleaned. I'll put in back. And then I need the orange paint again. And then, yeah, the trick with this, and I already prepared it, so just get yourself a piece of pegwood and just make like a pen-shaped kind of end, like, you know, end like a fountain pen kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I've basically done with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on, let's zoom in, not on me. Let's zoom in on this. Let's get more in focus as well. Yeah. Okay. And then all I'm going to do, I just want to mix up that orange paint again a little bit, which is good. Yeah. And it's just a case of just getting a little bit on the end. And then yeah, it's just drizzling it across, so to speak. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't first time, but like it's kind of like that. This might be a bit much actually, but I'm going to go for it because I can wipe it off anyway. Perfect, that's fine. Fine, done. So as you can see from a distance, if I zoom out and focus, it looks good. I'm happy with that. Yeah, looks really good. See how it looks on this. Let's see if you can see it on this, because I know that this camera zooms in a bit. So you can see it in like a real kind of perspective. Where am I going? Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. And then we got the dial as well. There you go. That looks pretty damn nice. Yeah, looks sexy. And it doesn't belong to me, and I wish it did. It's a nice dial, nice Relume. They'll settle down as it dries. So as it dries, they'll sink a little bit, and yeah, I think it'll look nice. And then that's the whole point. The point of it is now is that we have got the same lume matching the dial, which is how it should do, you know, because your lume should match the dial. You know what I mean? There should be no reason why it should not. Also, as well, make sure once you've done it, cover these up. And you can leave it literally just for a few hours, but I usually leave everything for at least 24 hours before I do it. And yeah, I think things look. I think it's a good way of making something look a lot nicer. If the lume is bad, I mean, if the lume is fine, don't do it. Leave it. You know, there's no reason to touch it. But if the lume is not good, then yeah, relume it. Like I did it on my. So I have a Speedmaster Mark II, and the lume was really shitty on this and worn away, which is notorious on the Speedmaster Mark IIs. And I also repainted the hands, so I stripped the hands and I airbrushed them white again. And I was really happy with I'm trying to work this out. I was really happy with the results, actually. Came out really nice. I don't know, yeah, I think you can see. Wait, is that better? Yeah, came out pretty good. So I was happy with that. So yeah. Oh man. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, how to relume a dial. I did it. It was a lot quicker than I actually thought, but it was an hour. So it's been a good hour. It's been a nice thing to get back into. I don't want to just waffle on and talk stupidness. But I'm just looking at some of the comments and everything. But I appreciate you guys, man. I really do. Seriously, like I said again, like those comments that I got for that Seagull chronograph watch, like I really didn't expect that amount of comments, and I read every single one. So like I said, it's hard to reply to every single one, but because they just kept coming. But yeah, I really appreciated it. It was not what I expected, considering how long it has been since I've done a video. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I appreciate it, guys. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna leave you now because the Relume is done. Everything's done. I hope you learned something. If you got any questions, give me a shout. And yeah, guys, I'll have a new video soon when I have a couple of things coming in, and as soon as I've decided what I'll do, and then I'll obviously record it like we did, and we'll continue growing this channel, man. Everything stays the same from before, so yeah, man. So yeah. Oh shit! No, fuck! I forgot one thing. One thing I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. Wait, I've not finished. I've not finished because somebody is going to be really happy, and I don't even know who it is. I need to choose somebody. I need to choose somebody. I was given this. So I was given this by Martijn van der Ven. I think it was, I saw him, oh man, when was it? It was sometime in, I think it was the summer last year. And I got the third installment of the book. And I even have a Horology Biology advert inside as well, which is pretty sick. And he gave me another one, which is sealed, and he said, give it away to somebody on the channel. The problem is that I never, what you call it? I never did a video since then. so I never got round to giving it away. So you know what we'll do? Because like, I always see it like this, man. The people that have come onto the live stream are the best ones. So when the live stream is finished, this is not planned, so this is the best thing I can think of. I will give this away and I'll post this to one of you guys that's chatting. The only thing I'd say is leave a comment in the live stream, not in the live stream chat. When the live stream is ended in a couple of minutes, the video will be there and you can leave comments. Leave a comment in there, and then tomorrow, so it's more than enough time for you to do it, I'll just draw a winner. Like, that's what I'll do. I'll just draw a winner and I'll say who's won. I can't say fairer than that. But it is a brand new, fully sealed copy of the book. I think they're about 75 euros. It's a fucking awesome book. I've got it myself. I don't know if you can see it on the shelf, but I got the second one and the third one now. And also inside as well, there's the Horology Biology advert as well, which is really, really nice. So yeah, leave a comment. And yeah, I will just draw a winner. And yeah, I completely forgot about this. So you guys have to thank Martijn for this, because this was completely his. When I bought it, he just gave me another one. He says, give this away to one of your subscribers, man. He says, I like what you do. And I've known Martijn a long time as well. So yeah, I just completely forgot about this. And it's just sat here all this time. Like, I've not felt too good. So okay, it wasn't the next video I did, but it's the second video that I did, and let's give it away. So don't forget, leave a comment, not in the live chat, not the live chat, in the proper video comment section once I've ended the video. And tomorrow I will go through the comments and I will just pick a winner, and I will get this shipped out to you. Yeah? All right. Completely forgot. All right, guys. So yeah, I'm happy with how it went, man. I think the Lume looks good. Any questions about it you want me to find that you need answering about it later on, just hit me up, and I'll try and answer your questions in regards to it. Guys, as always, till next time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take it easy.